Hey, how's it going everyone? I hope that you're all having an amazing day. This video is going to be a honest review of the new team-based FPS Rogue Company. Rogue Company is out right now on all platforms in a private beta mode that you can actually buy into. So rather than waiting and hoping for a Twitch drop, you can actually buy into the private beta of this game, which right off the bat to me is an up for this game. Not even mentioning the fact that it is out on all platforms right now. Hyperscape. Anyways, this is not a paid review of the game, but I am a part of the Epic Games Supporter Creator program. So if this video helps you out and you decide that you are going to pick up the private beta version of this game, then consider helping support the channel by using the link in the description or typing in gamers-4-Yeshua in the Supporter Creator section. But let's get right into this review of Rogue Company, shall we? So I'm going to be breaking this video up into 3 sections to make it a little bit easier to judge each section of the game individually. Each of these sections will be getting a rating out of 10, and then we will combine them all for a total score out of 30. Let's start off on a high note and make section 1 overall enjoyment. This section is really just going to be boiling down to how much fun the game was to play, and to be frank, I was pleasantly surprised the entire time. Even when I was losing a round or a game, rarely did I feel much frustration, which is amazing because the less frustrated a game makes me, the better I end up playing. I only played the demolition mode, but I played this mode for nearly 5 hours straight, and each individual round in the game was fast-paced and exciting, and even when the entire game matches did draw out to a final round winner-takes-all scenario, it never felt like it was dragging along. In fact, the closer the games were, the more exciting they were to play. I did not play each individual rogue either, but I did play a few of them, and honestly, never did I feel like one rogue was the meta rogue, and I never really felt like one rogue was lacking behind all of the others. This game has managed to balance things really well when it comes down to each individual character, and each of them is good in their own way, which is good because this will allow people to play the rogue that they enjoy the most, and they won't feel disadvantaged in any of the matches. I had a ton of clutch and crazy moments in this 5-hour stream, and I honestly was never bored, and as a matter of fact, time was really flying by the whole entire time. This is why, for the overall enjoyment section of Rogue Company, I am going to have to give it a 10 out of 10. Moving on to section 2 of this review, we are going to talk about game mechanics. So game mechanics are always very important. As a matter of fact, I remember when Apex Legends launched, one of the biggest draws to that game for me was just how fluid the movement was. Gameplay can actually make a huge difference between a good game or an amazing game that lasts. And I've got to be honest here, Rogue Company only had a few hitches when it comes to their gameplay. This all needs to be taken with a grain of salt because the game is still in private beta mode, but talking about the gameplay mechanics, everything felt pretty decent. It was smooth, the movement wasn't anything crazy, but it was polished and effective. Most of the time, the sound of the game was actually amazing. Tracking enemies' footsteps was very easy for the most part. There were some times I did feel like I had been snuck up on, and also there was this one time where someone ziplined behind me and I swear that they did not make any noise. So maybe the ziplines need a bit more of a noise profile, but these problems I was having could very well have been caused by me, either by me talking to my chat or me just rambling on to the chat. But to end the gameplay mechanics section, I want to talk about the guns, which in my opinion are decent, but could possibly use some work. I feel like the assault rifles in this game right now are in a really overpowered state where they are both powerful from a distance and powerful up close. This wouldn't be bad on its own, but there are a few classes that run shotguns and SMGs only as their primary weapon, and in my opinion, it is not often that you are close enough to an opponent to benefit fully from the SMGs. The sniper also, from what I've heard, has an absolutely insane hipfire accuracy, and it does 80 body damage, which paired with the sniper lady's pistol as a hipfire can actually be pretty deadly. So it isn't like the guns are in a bad spot in this game, it's just maybe the SMGs just need a little bit of a buff, or possibly the assault rifles nerfed just a little bit. So for the overall gameplay section of Rogue Company, I am going to be giving it a 7 out of 10. The last and most brutal section of this review is going to be about bugs. Bugs in a game can really be one of the most frustrating things to deal with, and I think it's important to cover the bugs that are happening. Again, this game is in private beta, so take all of this with a grain of salt, but there were a few bugs that were frustrating to say the least. So during the 5-hour stream, there were several times where the game would seemingly crash while transitioning through the loading screens. This was only really a minor inconvenience though, because if you would close and then relaunch the game, it would load you into the match that you crashed out of. So there was really no harm, no foul there. That was until towards the end of my stream, where the queue system was bugging out entirely. It wasn't letting me queue up, then it would all of a sudden spam my chat with a notification telling me that I was already queued, and sometimes it would then transition to the loading screen where it was going to put me into the game, but then I would sit on that for 5 minutes and I wouldn't end up managing to get into a game at all. I'm not sure if this was because the servers were bugging out at the time or if it was something on my end, but this did eventually get really frustrating, especially because I was having so much fun playing that I just wanted to jump back into another game. Another bug or strange mechanic that I was having a problem with was the character Daima's ability. So his ability launches a grenade that then scatters and blows up into several other grenades, and I'm not sure if this is a bug or an intended gameplay mechanic, but sometimes when I would use this ability, I would see numbers drop on the screen like I had done some damage to the enemies, but then when I would push the team, no damage was dealt. At first I was convinced this was a bug, but I went on and I think I ended up discovering that what was happening was the grenades were doing damage to anything other than another person, and I realized this because the numbers that would drop when it was doing damage to anything other than a person were always red and always for 100 damage, and I believe that all of the rogues' health is 100 damage, so if that were the case, I would have ended up downing the enemies and I wouldn't have even had to push. I also realized that when I did connect with an actual enemy, the numbers were usually white, so I'm guessing this is more of a gameplay mechanic than a bug. But I mean, come on, why would I need to know that I did 100 damage to some breakable glass object that is pre-built into the map? For the bug section of this review, I am going to give it a 5 out of 10. This brings the overall review score to 22 out of 30, which isn't bad considering this game is in a private beta state at this point. And hey, at least it's out on all platforms and it has crossplay, so I mean, can you really even complain at this point in time? Anyways, that is all of the information that I have for this video. If you made it this far, comment down below, made it. I love to see the viewers that do make it this far, but other than that, I hope you all have an amazing day. I'm out. I've actually, so far playing this game, I've only seen the sniper used properly on that one map and only in that one game. And that guy was being a cheeky little bugger because he was sitting way back in the corner. Yeah, bro, I did. I got at least one subscriber this stream. Our artist Shrish. At least one. I saw that notification. Hopefully all of my alerts are working, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at the analytics yet. Coming up here in a little bit when I whoa. Coming up here in a little bit when I take a break. I will take a quick peek at the analytics to see how they're doing, see what's up with them. How's it decided which one of us has the bomb?
I've got the objective. So easy.
Missed a lot of shots right there.
Bomb's active. Don't let them disarm it.
Down.
Yeah, man. Get out of here, bro.
No enemies remaining. Well done.
How long am I streaming for? I stream
Last round.
Mondays
End
and
strong.
Wednesdays from 8 to 1 p.m. and then hold on.
Okay.
Then I stream Fridays from 1 to 8, so I'm streaming until 1 o'clock today. Not even sure what time it is. See, normally with playing Apex, I'm like,